Every time a major sports game happens in America, crime quietly jumps, not after the season, not days later, but that very same night, NFL games, college finals, high stakes matchups, millions of people are watching at once. The bars are packed and emotions are pushed right to the edge. And while all the fans are focused on the score, police departments are preparing for something else entirely. On big game nights, emergency services repeatedly report increases in a few specific things: assaults, domestic violence, drunk driving, street fights, and a spike in late night emergency calls. Now, the game itself isn't the direct cause. Human behavior is. The intense environment, the high stakes, and often the heavy drinking create a perfect storm. It's a side of sports culture that rarely gets talked about, but the statistics don't lie. Here's what most people don't realize. The trouble doesn't just start after the final whistle blows. It actually starts hours earlier when alcohol, stress, and sky-high expectations all collide. By the time kickoff happens, the outcome is already building on the streets. Win or lose, the emotional charge is already there, just waiting for a spark. Criminologists actually have a name for this: emotional displacement. People don't suddenly lose control because of a sports game. They lose control because the game becomes an acceptable trigger for something that was already there. The anger, the frustration, the stress, it all existed before the game even started. A tough loss just gives it a permission slip to come out. In fact, some U.S. cities quietly increase their hospital staffing, their patrol presence, and their overall emergency readiness during major games. And it's not for the victory parades or celebrations. It's for what happens after, when the crowds disperse and the reality of the night sets in. It's a proactive measure for a predictable problem. So why do you never see this? Broadcasts don't show it. The leagues don't really discuss it, because crime doesn't belong in the highlight reels. It doesn't fit the narrative of heroic athletes and passionate fans. But behind the scenes, the pattern repeats itself week after week, season after season. Next story: how illegal betting turns ordinary sports fans into prime targets for crime. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The next case explains what nobody ever warns you about.